lower and more spin. It's a lateral force. It's a lateral force pushing outwards. The wrist isn't tucking in this direction. Many people misunderstand and think that's how to drive the ball. It's not easy to control the ball. The more you pull back, the shorter it might not necessarily be. Push forward. It's this kind of rolling the ball in your hand. Rolling is harder than exerting force. It's rolling the ball in your hand over. Rely on the stability of the waist. This is a bit difficult. I really don't know if everyone can understand. Bo means this. Right. Don't roll for diagonal shots. Wrap around the ball for diagonal shots. Wrap around the ball for diagonal shots. For straight shots, don't pull back your wrist. Some balls need to be pulled back. Some balls need to be pushed. When driving straight, you need to push. For diagonal shots, don't push, pull back. Right, right. Then if he drives for this spin, should I hook? Wrist outward. Either retract your wrist or hit with outward wrist. At this point, don't push forward. Slowly, slowly. Either retract or hit with outward wrist. Right. Hitting with outward wrist. Won't slip. Too much friction. Don't wrap around the ball. When hit the ball out with outward wrist, don't wrap around the ball. Your hitting position is wrong. Don't have thin friction. Friction is too thin. So now, will it still slip? Right. Right, it won't slip anymore. It won't slip with hitting with outward wrist. Will it still slip? It won't slip anymore. Right? That's the principle. Some balls need to be retracted. Some balls need to be hitting with outward wrist. This depends on the game situation. Why is it so easy to hit the edge of the paddle? I hit every ball with outward wrist. It won't slip. Isn't today's lesson a bit too difficult? Let's do the lowest and most spinning one. I can't driving this arc with my left hand like that. Either hitting with outward wrist or retract. No other way. This ball, I'm pushing it outward because his ball is relatively low. The feeling of every ball being counterattacked is different. It depends on the ball. Like this one, I hit with outward wrist. You can hit with outward wrist if it's above the net. Rubber is great. This rubber is really good. Not slippery at all. During matches, it's driving straight. It's what you call the hand, driving straight. Don't driving straight for this type of ball anymore. It's too short, can only hit with outward wrist. So the probability of errors is high. Can you hit straight with outward wrist? When I played in Tianjin League matches, I mentioned this problem of you. The risk is too high. Don't hit with outward wrist straight, hit diagonally. Wrap around the ball for straight shots. For straight shots, retract your wrist. The faster you retract for straight shots, the better. Straight shots purely neutralize this spin. Take a look. For straight shots, retract and shorten. Neutralize the spin. Retract and accelerate. See it? This ball is actually difficult to drive. If you do the normal motion, it will fly away or slide off. It must be shortened. See, it must be shortened. It must be shortened. You can't hit with outward wrist straight. Just stop and hold. Right, hold it. Driving the ball solid. See that? Then it'll be stable. This ball is hit too thinly. Right? It's too thin. Make it thicker. Make it thicker. Impact it a bit harder. Don't be afraid if it's okay. Hit it harder. Don't be afraid. Straight shots need to be shortened. Right, that feels right. Usually we don't talk about such professional stuff. I also understand now. Let me feed you some balls. Take this. This rubber is good. Why are you afraid when you see this kind of ball? You always feel like you have to use the rubber to rub it over. Rely on body impact to hold the wrist. Try to hold the ball. Definitely don't let it slide. Too thin. Why does it slide? Actually, it's like backhand flick. You're afraid. Even if you just swipe, you can hit it over. You can hit it over. Make it thicker. You need to rub it thicker. Even if you make a mistake, it can't slide. How do you guys drive it? It's easy to slide. I slide as soon as I drive it. You can't use the rubber to purely rub this ball. With a lot of spin, you must withstand and shorten the wrist. You must hold it and shorten it. One more. Like this, I didn't slide. Good. The motion is too slow. Speed up here. Right, good ball. You have to speed up. Got it. Got it. Speed up the impact and shorten. It's too thin again, isn't it? Your impact shouldn't have any friction at all. Impact and shorten. Right, good shot. Impact and shorten. No friction. Let's have another one. Okay. You didn't shorten it, did you? The movement is too slow. Right, too slow. Right, afraid to do this. You have to shorten quickly. Right. You need to shorten faster.